Hi, Daniele. Welcome to DX Deploy. We're so happy to have you here today. This year's theme is all about Let's Build, and I'm very excited to talk to you about all the amazing experiences that you're building for your customers. But first, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and your company?
Okay, thank you, Kyle, for having me here. My name is Daniele Vistalli. I'm from Factory, an HCL partner, and personally, I've been dealing with the DX technology for the last 24 years.
That's great to hear you have so much experience with the platform. Why do you love it, and why do you recommend it to your customers?
Oh, this is a great question, Kyle. I would spend days telling you about what I like, but actually, if I have to summarize, the reason why I work with the Axon customer projects is because it's a long-term strategy product, and we have been able to follow customers for decades now. So when a customer works in the enterprise, the outlook is not for the next week, but it's for the next 5 to 10 years. So longevity and consistency is one of the key aspects. You always have a way forward with the product to get into the next evolution or revolution. And this is one. And the other one is that a unique attribute of DX is that when you build a solution, you don't need to pick applications or content, but you have both sides of the story together, and you can blend the two technologies together to adapt to the customer requirement. Finally, the evolution of the platform has brought it into a services platform structure, which allows us to use it in headless solutions that are going to gather more and more relevancy going on.
Right, so it's about customers being able to evolve their experience in a modular way, and without having to completely replace just to leverage a new technology.
And this is another thing that we see a lot. No customer in the enterprise is able to go through a big bang evolution of their entire implementation. So we have the option to coexist, to improve, to evolve over time, and to do a piece by piece replacement and evolution of what they need are, while content is maintained and updated to fit the new requirements.
At this year's Deploy event, we've been discussing Kubernetes and composability a lot. Where do you, as a partner, see value in this technology?
Oh, well, the Kubernetes story has been the hot story in IT for the last few years. So now organizations are finally starting to take advantage of those. In the old days, you attempted to build the mega system, the unified platform to deliver all your services. We now have the luxury and flexibility to spin up new implementation, new instances in very short time. And this is a good thing. On the other side, the transformation of the DX platform in a service platform that can be consumed from other technologies allows us to use DX in an headless way as an host application. So we have the full spectrum of development approaches that can be picked up, and we can adapt based on the size and complexity of the customer needs. And that's it.
That's great. And so we've been talking a lot this week about using DX outside of the traditional web site that it's used to create, and using the APIs to build out those touch points along the various customer or partner or employee journey that you're trying to build out. Are you leveraging that a lot?
We are using that, especially when we work with agencies or parts of the company that's outside the DX area. They don't need to know, actually. They just consume our API as any other API, and they don't care about all the stuff we have in the backend because they can build fast. And this is proving to simplify a lot the project and to have quicker outcomes for us as a partner and for the customer. So this is great. Now, we also got Foundry in DX. So we have even more API we can build from the platform to integrate backend system. And this goes in the story where we have content, applications, and an integration layer for whatever the customer has in their environment or in their list of systems to integrate.
Yeah, we're very excited to see how customers use Foundry to build out even better experiences.
And once again, the good thing here is that Foundry is not new. It has a story. It has a story of success. So we are not experimenting with the new toy from a startup. We are integrating another enterprise piece in the stack. So we feel we can move a lot of custom code to an API and integration layer that is Foundry, and to surface those information through the web content management system. So it's a win all over the place.
Prior to this session, you and I were looking at the new DX Marketplace together. It's a place where customers can go and download value-added assets to add into their DX deployment. Where do you see value in the marketplace?
Yes, Kyle, the marketplace is something that is going to help everybody. On the customer side, it's a way for them to find solutions to their problems and to be reassured about the fact that what they need to achieve has been achieved by others and how. It's a good thing for us partners because it's a way to show what we have done, to share and to gain visibility on what we do, and for HCL to bring on partners that have the expertise. So it's a triple win from my point of view. And I've seen this happening all over the place in all enterprise vendors' approach to the market to put front their success and to share. So it makes sense, and I'm looking forward to join the marketplace as soon as possible.
And we look forward to having you there. All right, so now let's change gears a bit and let's talk about Sofy, which is our cloud-based trial software playground. How have you been using Sofy with your customers?
Okay, this is another great question that links to the previous one, because if we bring our solutions to the marketplace, we still need the customer to download and try out what we are bringing to them. Sofy is an automated way for us to be able to show that. And we are actively working to use Sofy to spin up the demonstration environment for the customer or to add our solution on top. So the marketplace and Sofy are going to shorten the path of the customer validating that our solution makes sense for them. So it's a great resource to have because it saves time and cost to all the actors, to us, to the customer, and in the end to you.
Right, so you're using it not only as a way to trial, but it's actually you're using it as a easy environment to give access to your customers to try the technology, but also try something that you've built and added into it, so like a proof of concept.
Absolutely. And the reason is staying up to date with all the changes, the releases you make would be a full-time job for us partner. We have to go after our customers to implement for them and to stay up to date. So you are taking a good part of the work away from us, saving. So it's reducing my total cost of partnership. You are doing a part of my job and simplifying my go-to-market and allowing me to show value to the customer faster.
Excellent. Okay, and closely aligned with Sofy is our software university, right? Which is our online, on-demand, self-service set of courses that beginners, intermediate, and experts can go and learn new technology and new skills and learn how to use the product better. How are you leveraging Software U?
Well, as I'm growing my team, I need to educate the team. And having a resource like Software University is the day one place where I get my team to go because they need to get started. Documentation and education is actually not an add-on to a product, but is part of the product. So somebody also says documentation is product. well, no, I wouldn't go to that extreme, but documentation is a very relevant part of the product because it shortens the development cycle, the adoption cycle, and having an initiative like Software University is going to benefit everybody once again.
Okay, great. Let's talk about the DX user community. You are a great DX champion, and it comes out through this user community. As you know, it's a great place for all the DX experts across HCL, partners, and customers to come, collaborate, and solve problems together. But I think we would both agree that what's needed to make the community better is that we need more participation. Can you first explain what the DX user community is, and then explain the value behind it?
Community is a topic I absolutely love. The DX user group community was born at the end of the year 3 years ago as a way to respond to a need I felt and a few other friends felt about having a place to meet regardless of the company or customer we worked at, to share our experiences, challenges, and so on. We decided to pick Discord as the platform for that, as many others are doing, and people began to join and to discuss their experience and challenging HCL. And at some point, even HCL joined. So we are now able to challenge the vendor every day on everything we want and to raise the bar, and in return for that, to understand the why something is happening or not. So it's a very, very open discussion and constructive. We bring feedback from the field, and the vendor shares with us the direction. So we are creating this kind of alignment and in the understanding of where the platform is going, and also influencing where the platform is going. So the more people join, and they join every day, the better the community becomes.
Right, so it's a community where anyone can join. They can come in and ask a question. And behind all that are all these experts in DX. I know several people within HCL monitor it. You're there, and I know there are some other customers and partners who are out there too. And we love it too because we get to see what is going on currently in real situations with customers. So it's definitely a win-win situation for us. Now, there's also a web meeting that happens regularly where we get in there and customers, partners, anyone can come bring their questions. And sometimes we have specific topics that we share with the community base. Can you share a little more about those calls?
Oh, yes. We have two kind of meetings. The most informal one is the one that we call the DX Experience Cafe. It's like we meet at the bar and we discuss on what we have been working on for the last few weeks, months, the challenges, the things we learned. And I can tell you, after 24 years, I'm learning new tricks every day on the platform. So it's so large, so rich, you learn every day. And it makes sense to share because when you share this information, you learn that others know the extra bit that you didn't figure out yet. So it's a peer-to-peer exchange of experience. And the other kind of event that we have from time to time is we take HCL on stage and in a sort of show and tell session and ask me anything session, we challenge the team working on the product about what's going on, what's happening, what will be coming next. You know, because you have been there, that we are never soft on you. We always raise the bar. And it's great to have this kind of openness from the vendor because it builds trust towards partners, customers, and everybody.
And in the end, it builds a better product from our perspective.
Absolutely. That's what we have seen in the last few years. I was always waiting for the next release. Now I'm saying, relax. I can't keep up anymore with everything you're building.
That's great to hear from the field.
Yep.
Well, Daniele, I can't thank you enough for being here today, and I can't thank you enough for being the DX champion that you are. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle, and thank you, HCL.